And we'd like to welcome you to our first annual Aloha Bowl and to beautiful Hawaii.
It's the East Coast against the West Coast in the inaugural Aloha Bowl. The Maryland Terrapins blending the pass and the run in their revamped explosive offense against the Washington Huskies, a tenacious defensive unit ranked number 1 7 weeks. 2 top 20 teams in the Aloha Bowl. Metro Sports presents the 1982 inaugural Aloha Bowl Football Classic. 1982 Aloha Bowl Football Classic is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch of St. Louis, brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. By Aloha Airlines, offering service throughout the neighboring Hawaiian Islands every day. By S-Mark, who brings you Swift, Playtex, Figaro, STP, Danskin, Jermack, and Jensen. By United Airlines, offering comfortable 747 service to Hawaii every day. And by the Hawaii Visitors Bureau, 6 different islands, 1 beautiful state. It's the 7th-ranked University of Washington Huskies versus the 15th-ranked University of Maryland Terrapins. This game comes to you live from Aloha Stadium, Honolulu, Hawaii. Mele Kalikimake, Hauoli Makahikiho. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Hawaii. Metro Sports welcomes you to the inaugural Aloha Bowl. I'm Harry Callis, along with University of California coach, Pac-10 Coach of the Year, Joe Kapp. Joe, a great matchup. How do you see it?
Harry, I see just that. A great football game. I think 2 very evenly matched football teams. The East Coast playing the West Coast. Both coaches would love to play very stout defense and concentrate on defense, but both teams can run up 30 points easily. They averaged that all season long.
Let's go down to our colleague on the field, Les Kiter.
Thank you, Harry. Merry Christmas from Hawaii. Intersectional football at its best. Washington against Maryland. Let's see what makes
after this. Back at Aloha Stadium, Honolulu, Hawaii, for the inaugural Aloha Bowl. The teams are about ready to come out on the field. Let's go down to Les Kiter.
Here they are, 7,000 miles from home, the standard bearers of Maryland. The University of Maryland Terrapins of the Atlantic Coast Conference, representing the East. Back to you, Harry.
All right, thank you, Les. And, of course, the man to watch for Maryland is their outstanding junior quarterback, number 7, Boomer Esiason. You'll be seeing a lot of him. Shattered 11 Maryland Terrapin records en route to an 8-3 record for the Terps. Now let's go back down to Les Kiter.
Thank you, Harry. Hi, Seattle. It's time to bow down to Washington. Here come the Huskies, the University of Washington. 7 weeks, the #1 team in America. Representatives of the Pacific Northwest, Pac-10, and the West. The University of Washington Huskies. Okay, Harry.
And we'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this. There you see the weather conditions. 75 degrees here in beautiful Honolulu. We've had some liquid sunshine, but the field is dry and fast. The first time that Maryland and Washington have ever met on a football field. Maryland Terrapins third in rushing. The man they'll have to stop is Jacques Robinson, number 28 for Washington. Washington has won the toss. They will receive. Kicking off for the Maryland Terrapins, Jess Atkinson. Atkinson out of Camp Springs, Maryland, to kick off. Tim Peoples and Anthony Allen are the deep men for Washington. And the inaugural Aloha Bowl is underway. Atkinson, a driving kickoff. This will not be returned. For Washington, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Washington offensively will have Tim Cowan at the quarterback. He's a senior. Chris James at the fullback. And Jacques Robinson, he's the man to watch, leading rusher in the Pac-10. Anthony Allen will be at one wide out. Willie Roseborough is the tight end. And the other wide out, the brilliant Paul Scansey. 1st and 10, Washington at their own 20-yard line. Tim Cowan, the quarterback. Cowan on a handoff. That's Jacques Robinson. Good hold, 7 yards for Robinson. Jacques Robinson, 5'11", 201 from San Jose, California. Offensive line for Washington. Eric Moran will be at a tackle. Rick Mallory will be at left guard. The center is Paul Cody. At right guard, Pat Saxcorn. At right tackle will be Don Dow. 2nd down and 3, Washington. They have it at their own 27-yard line. Cowan calling signals. And off again to Jacques Robinson. He gets 2 short of the first down. Piled up by the whole middle of the Maryland defensive front. Maryland defensively lining up in a 4-man defensive line. That's Eubanks at one linebacker. Curtis Brown is at a down line spot, as is Mike Corvino. Frank Kolensik, a defensive guard, and their leading sacker is Mark Duda. Other outside linebacker, J.D. Gross. It is a 3rd down and 1 Washington. Quarterback sneak by Cowan. He appears to have the first down. Cowan a first down, Washington at the 31-yard line. The defensive secondary inside linebackers, Joe Wilkins and Mike Muller, the inside linebackers for Maryland. They pretty much go with 3 backs. Lendell Jones at one quarterback, Clarence Baldwin the other, and the safety is Bill McFadden. It is 1st and 10, Washington. They have the ball at their own 31-yard line. Cowan calling signals. Cowan back to pass for the first time. Up the middle, got his man to the 35-yard line. Pass to Anthony Allen. Allen brought down by Mike Muller, the middle linebacker. A pickup on the play of just 4. It's 2nd down and 6. Down and 6 for Washington. Cowan, the senior quarterback from Cerritos, California. A quick sideline pattern. Got his man Allen. Allen out of bounds at the 44-yard line. It's the first down. Tim Cowan to Anthony Allen. First and 10, Washington. They have the ball at their 43-yard line. Cowan looking to the sideline. The Washington Huskies 9-2, losing only to Stanford and Washington State. Jock Robinson and Chris James are the running backs behind Tim Cowan. Jock Robinson fights his way for about 2 or 3 yards before he's stacked up by the whole middle. And on the bottom of the pile, Mike Corvino, co-captain of Maryland out of Rosetta, Pennsylvania. Gain of 2, it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Maryland's playing a 4-4-3. 4 down linemen, 2 inside linebackers, 2 outside linebackers, and a 3 deep defense in the secondary.
2nd down and 8. Scansey in motion for Washington. Cowan right up the middle, got his man Scansey over midfield into the Terrapins' 48-yard line before he's brought down by Howard Eubanks. Paul Scansey, all-time career leader in receptions for Washington, 138 of them. 50 catches this year, 2nd on the all-time Washington list. Jim Creed caught 54 back in 1970. It's a 3rd down and short, 3rd and 2. Cowan rolling out, looking upfield, fires a bullet. It's caught at the 28-yard line. 1st down, Washington, caught by Scansey. Cowan really drilled it in there.
It looked like he could have run for the 1st down there, but Washington is doing exactly what they've done all season long. Good balance. They use the slot formation to try to find out what Maryland's going to do with their secondary coverage. But they will be balanced all game long.
10-yard pass play for a 1st down. Cowan to Paul Scansey. Here comes Scansey in motion again for the Huskies. Jock Robinson behind some blocking, but he gets only 1 or 2 before he is piled up. Again, Mike Corvino in at the bottom of the pile for Maryland, along with number 98, Mark Duda. A gain of just 1 by Robinson. It's 2nd down and 9, Washington. They have the ball at the Maryland 37-yard line. Washington taking the opening kickoff. Scansey and Anthony Allen come wide to the left. Scansey in motion. The lone running back is Robinson. Play action pass. Cowan being rushed. He's nailed at the 45-yard line. It is ruled an incomplete pass in that his arm motion had started, but it's ruled an incomplete pass. A heavy rush put on by Mark Duda. Watch Duda, number 98.
This is the fake draw, and the right tackle was just not able to hold his block long enough. The quarterback's got to have a feeling for that and get the ball off sooner if he can.
Duda recorded 13 sacks this year for Maryland. It's 3rd down and 10. Cowan dropping back, screen pass. Jock Robinson set up nicely. Robinson down to the Maryland 26-yard line. A 1st down.
A very well executed screen pass. Fake draw, back to the tailback. Good blocking upfield. Just the way the Coach James drew it up.
Big 3rd down play for Washington gives the Huskies a 1st and 10. They have the ball at the 27-yard line of Maryland. Tim Cowan sends Scansey in motion again. Cowan going deep, going for the end zone. Touchdown, Washington, Anthony Allen.
Beautiful corner pattern. Excellent protection. The ball's right on the money.
From Tim Cowan to Anthony Allen.
Scansey goes in motion. Tim Cowan drops back. Fine protection as you see here. Anthony's running a fake to the post. Went right to the corner and beats the defensive man cleanly.
Anthony Allen, what an all-purpose player he is. A conversion attempt by the brilliant All-American Chuck Nelson. An academic All-American the last 2 years for Washington is up, and it is good. He never misses them. That's 64 in a row for him. And with the score, Washington 7, Maryland nothing. We'll be back after this.
Harry, we just understand that pass to Allen has scored 3 touchdowns in Pac-10 play. It's the identical touchdown play they've worked 3 other times. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Les. From Tim Cowan to Anthony Allen, 27 yards for a touchdown for Washington. Chuck Nelson will kick off for the Washington Huskies. Back in solo safety for Maryland is Tim Quander in the middle. Wayne Wingfield on the near side.
That 80-yard drive, Harry, 12 plays, time of possession 4 minutes and 46 seconds is what a football team practices all for the last 2 weeks.
Was an impressive Husky drive. Rick Bedanek on the far side for Maryland. So as anticipated, we're going to see some offensive fireworks this afternoon in the inaugural Aloha Bowl. Nelson the kickoff. Wander deep in the end zone, will not bring it out, and Maryland will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. So Maryland gets the ball for the first time, and they are led by their outstanding quarterback, Boomer Esiason. Dave Daddio is the fullback. Their leading rusher is Willie Joyner. Russell Davis will be one of the wideouts. John Tice, the tight end, their leading receiver for number of catches, and Greg Hill is the other wideout. 1st and 10, Maryland. They have the ball at their own 20-yard line. Boomer Esiason shattered 11 Terrapin records this year and is certainly a candidate for Heisman consideration next year. He is a junior, a left-hand quarterback. Willie Joyner gets the handoff, and Joyner gets about 3, dragged down from behind by Tony Caldwell. Kevin Glover is an offensive tackle for Maryland. Ron Salda the guard. Doug Miller is the center, and Len Lynch is at the other offensive guard, and co-captain Dave Pasella rounding out that offensive line for Maryland. It is a 2nd down and 7 for the Terrapins. They have the ball at their own 23-yard line. Davis wide right. Mike Lewis goes wide left. Again, Joyner nailed from behind again by Tony Caldwell, the offensive linebacker. Mark Stewart, big play man, All-American. Lynn Madsen is at a down lineman for Washington. Dean Browning is their nose guard, and Ray Cattage is at the other defensive tackle. Tony Caldwell, who's made the first 2 tackles for Washington at the outside linebacker. Nobody's picking him up. It is a gain of, or rather a loss of a yard on the play by Joyner that time, bringing on a 3rd down and 8, and almost a sure passing down for Esiason. Esiason straight back, being rushed, gets it away, caught for a 1st down. Caught by John Tice, the tight end. So Esiason's first pass complete to Tice.
Play here from split backs. The most reliable receiver all season long has been the tight end, John Tice. He gets in behind the linebacker, makes a nice catch, and gets upfield. He is the leading receiver for the Terrapins all season long.
Set a single game mark of 11 catches this year against Clemson. It is a 1st and 10, Maryland. They have the ball at the 41-yard line. Inside handoff, Joyner again, and Joyner is stacked up. In the secondary, in the inside linebacker spot for the Washington Huskies this afternoon, their leading tackler is that man, Ken Driscoll. Stuart Hill, the other inside linebacker. Roy Horton is one corner. Chris O'Connor, the strong safety. Vince Newsom is the free safety. And Bill Stapleton is the other cornerback for the Huskies. On a 2nd down and 8 for Maryland. They have the ball at their own 43, trailing 7-0. Esiason back to pass, being rushed, gets it away. Up over the 45 to midfield and into Washington territory goes Dave Daddio.
This is a slot formation. Esiason throwing his left-handed pass. It's a screen-type pass. Blockers are upfield. Well executed. What we're seeing, Harry, is both teams are well coached. There's a lot of offense. We're going to see running, passing, screens, inside, outside. Great college football.
We will see a lot of offense this afternoon. Washington leading 7-0, 1st and 10, Maryland at the Husky 48-yard line. Boomer Esiason. Quick out. Incomplete. In and out of the grasp of the intended receiver, Russell Davis. Bill Stapleton defending on the play for Washington. Yeah, were it not for 14 points, the Terrapins would have gone undefeated this season, finishing 8-3 in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
They get great leadership from the quarterback, the Boomer. They named him the Boomer because I guess he was kicking a lot in his mama's tummy. Got an early nickname.
It is a 2nd down and 10 call for Esiason. The Washington 48-yard line. Back to pass. Esiason has time, fires, and is in and out of the grasp of his intended receiver. And that was Russell Davis, who claimed interference, but no interference call. Bill Stapleton defending on the play.
Esiason shows great poise, looks the defense off, fires the ball. He's got a quick release. Shades of Frankie Albert, the old left-hander. Kenny Stabler.
Can't cover a receiver any better than Stapleton did there, the senior from San Francisco. It is a 3rd down and 10 for Maryland. They have the ball at the Washington 48-yard line.
Washington plays a normal 3-4 defense. They're faking the safety blitz on this last play.
Esiason going for the bundle. Great catch and in and out of his grasp. It looked for a moment like Mike Lewis made a spectacular grab, but he couldn't hang on.
It was all there. Great protection. Esiason put the ball up 60 yards in the air. Big, strong arm by the Boomer. The ball's right there. He had a chance for it.
Looked like Lewis had outfought the defenders for it, but he couldn't hang on.
The defender, Ray Horton, is a pretty outstanding football player.
Alan Sadler back to punt. Gets a rush, gets it away, a driving kickoff. Horton at the 10-yard line. Horton gets away from one man out of bounds at the 11, where Washington will put it in play, 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line. Punt of 38 yards, a return of 1. With the score, Washington 7, Maryland 0. We'll be back after this. Nothing. Washington will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line. Maryland representing the ACC. Another ACC representative, North Carolina, won the Sun Bowl today, beating Texas of the Southwest Conference 26-10. Inside handoff, Jock Robinson. Robinson picking up 4 for Washington before he is wrestled down at the 15-yard line. Brought down by Mark Duda on the play. Fine defensive tackle from Plymouth, Pennsylvania for Maryland. It'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Washington Huskies. There's Jock Robinson. All Pac-10, 926 yards, led the Pac-10 in rushing. Inside handoff and nothing there. Curtis Brown, Mike Corvino down on the bottom of the pile. No gain on the play, brings up a 3rd down and 6.
For the real students of the game here, this even man line, 2 nose guards actually on the guards, 2 tackles on the ends, and leave the 2 huge offensive tackles, Washington's tackles, uncovered, basically.
Cowan back to pass, over the middle, has his man, the tight end, over the 25 to the 30. Pass play caught by Leroy Lutu from Honolulu.
Leroy's the only Hawaiian on the field. He was wide open. I couldn't see if the inside linebacker that was supposed to take that area dogged or not.
Safety Bill McFadden finally made the tackle. There's Lutu from Honolulu, a great prep athlete here. It's 1st and 10 Washington. They have the ball at their own 31-yard line. Jock Robinson, not much there. He picks up a yard or 2. Robinson, the ball carrier, brought down by Tyrone Furman, junior out of Reisterstown, Maryland. Gain of 2, it'll be 2nd down and 8. Washington really rolled in the first half this year en route to a 9-2 record, and they have a 7-0 lead here. Down calling signals from the I formation. Play action pass up the middle, nearly picked off by Joe Wilkins. Wilkins nearly intercepting the senior from Pleasantville, New Jersey.
Cowan's looking for Scansey across the middle, short post pattern. Excellent dropping by the linebacker to get in front of that play.
Washington, 2 huge tackles. They have Eric Moran and Don Dow. Dow 6'6", 280. Moran 6'6", 284. Scansey in motion. Cowan back to pass. Being rushed, gets it away. Jeff Robinson up to the 45, midfield where he's dropped at midfield. Brought down by Lendell Jones. First down, Washington at the 49-yard line.
It's a delay pattern to the tailback. Sets up to block. Tight end Ludu comes across, takes the linebacker. Robinson comes underneath and gets the completion.
Robinson caught 6 passes during the regular season. That a big gainer for the Huskies. Robinson is out now, and Sterling Hines comes in to take his place. Play action pass, sideline pattern. Scansey had it and then dropped it. A vicious hit by Clarence Baldwin, the junior from Hyattsville, Maryland. You don't see Scansey drop many.
That's a fact, but you also see tremendous hitting by Clarence Baldwin here. I've always said the mark of a good, strong football team is how hard your secondary hits, and Clarence shows just the way the coach Ross designed it.
Paul Scansey, all Pac-10. What a wideout he has been for the Washington Huskies. It is second down and 10, Washington. They have the ball at their own 49-yard line. Cowan again wants to throw up the middle. That's been open and close to a first down. For Washington goes Leroy Lutu.
Maryland's sitting in that 3-deep defense there. And Leroy Lutu, the only native Hawaiian playing in today's game. Quite a homecoming here to be back in Hawaii in front of his home folks.
Third down and short. Larry Michael comes in as an extra blocker at a tight end along with Willie Roseborough. And on the power formation, Maryland recovers Clarence Baldwin at the 37-yard line. Eric Wilson the hit, Baldwin the recovery. As it was fumbled.
You'll see Eric Wilson come in here and put a arm on the ball. Clarence Baldwin came up and makes the recovery. Heads up football.
Sterling Hines committing the turnover for Washington, so it'll be first and 10 Maryland. They'll have it at their 37-yard line. With the score, Washington 7, Maryland 0. We'll be back after this.
Not later in the day.
Harry, you'll be interested to know that Allen told me on the touchdown it was a familiar outside pattern. Joe Capel appreciated it, but it was a new-look alignment that fooled Maryland. As for Lutu, highly recruited University High School basketball and football all-stater. Back to you, Harry.
All right, thanks, Les. And that, of course, put Washington in front 7-0. The touchdown pass to Anthony Allen. Maryland with the ball on the turnover, first and 10. Inside handoff, Joyner. Joyner finds very little running room. Dean Browning there to make the tackle at the 40-yard line. A gain of a couple. It'll be second down and 8.
Coming there to help out on that tackle was a strong safety, Chris O'Connor. Just a fine football player at the strong safety. Enjoys playing the game. You can see his enthusiasm. An outstanding football player.
It almost looks so far, Joe, that both teams are going to have to throw a lot this afternoon.
Balance will be the key here, I think.
On a second down and 8, Esiason calling signals. Again, this is Joyner, and Joyner is caught from behind again by Cody Caldwell. What pursuit from the opposite side by Caldwell. The broadcast rights to this game are granted by the Aloha Bowl Committee to Metro Communications Incorporated. Any rebroadcast or other use of this broadcast without written consent is prohibited. Announcers for the broadcast have been hired and are paid by Metro Communications Incorporated in consultation with the Aloha Bowl Committee. It is a 3rd down and 5 call for Esiason. Maryland, like Washington, also scores big in the first half. They're not on the board yet. 2:41 to play first quarter. Hand off Joyner. Joyner is short of the first down as Tony Caldwell again caught him. Caldwell's had a ton of tackles.
That's the counter play from I formation. They've got a lot of confidence in their running game. It's been good for them all season long. You've got a 1,000-yard rusher and you're back to Willie Joyner. Sometimes you need the patience to stay with it.
Alan Sadler will punt for Maryland. The deep man for Washington in solo safety is Ray Horton. Washington leading 7-0. This is the only matchup outside of teams playing on New Year's Day involving 2 top 20 teams.
And you'll notice the 10-man front by the Huskies. They put a lot of pressure in the kicking game.
So much pressure that perhaps Maryland is guilty of a delay of game penalty. We'll have to wait and see. The officials are all from the Pacific Coast Athletic Association.
Which is not the Pac-10.
Not the Pac-10.
Delay. Offense. 4th down.
Well, I tell you, these officials from the Pacific Coast Athletic Association come in loud and strong.
But that 10-man front, it causes every team in the Pac-10 problem. And I'm sure there was some confusion in that Maryland offensive front there.
Chris O'Connor of Washington has blocked 3 punts in his career, and they are coming. Sadler gets it away, though. Not a long punt. Horton at the 22-yard line. Horton running laterally and out of bounds at the 25. So Washington will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Tim Cowan's having quite a day so far. He's got 9 completions out of 12 attempts for 107 yards.
With the score, Washington 7, Maryland nothing. We'll be back after this. Problems that you may be experiencing, and we're diligently trying to correct the video. Washington leading in the inaugural Aloha Bowl by a score of 7-0. 1:46 to play first quarter as Tim Cowan brings his Huskies out. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Fumble, and Maryland has recovered as Washington coughs it up again. Mike Muller pounced on the football.
High formation, tailback. Gets it in there. Great hit. Great tackle. Caused the fumble.
For Sterling Hines, that's the 2nd straight time he has coughed it up, and Mike Muller recovered. So it is 1st and 10, Maryland at the Washington 19. Both of them by the tailback, 2nd-line tailback behind Jock Robinson, Sterling Hines.
It's not a typical Washington maneuver, the fumble.
Esiason looking toward the end zone, gets away from the right, still looks. Now running for his life and out of bounds at the 22. It'll be a loss of 3. Driven out by Tony Caldwell.
Esiason shows some great athletic ability, not only to be a drop back passer, but to be able to stand tough in there. Take on that blitzer, escape it, and look upfield and run out of bounds.
Great catch that almost got him for Washington. A loss of 3 at 2nd down and 13.
That's a pretty good little straight arm he had there, too.
John Nash is at the tailback, and Dave Daddio is at the fullback. And now we have movement. We'll see if Maryland pulled Washington off. Illegal procedure. Illegal procedure call against Maryland will move the ball back 5 more and bring up a 2nd down and 18. Bobby Ross, what a job he's done in his first year as head coach at Maryland, 5 years previous at Citadel. Atlantic Coast Conference Coach of the Year.
Offense, 2nd down.
The Huskies are faking a blitz and a dog on occasion. They're probably not going to come. They like to stay very basic on defense, but it may be catching the Maryland offense a little bit off balance.
In motion goes Darrell Emerson for Maryland. Quick out. What pressure Esiason was under. He tried to hit Greg Hill, but he barely got a chance to move his arm forward before Ken Driscoll was on his numbers.
They're trying the screen pass out there, but
today's officials, as we mentioned, all from the Pacific Coast Athletic Association. Third down and 18.
Esiason was trying the screen pass out there, but before you get a screen off, you got to protect the quarterback.
Emerson wide left, Mike Lewis wide right. On a third down, an 18 call for Boomer Esiason. From East Islip, New York. Long count, too long. Another 5 yards being tacked against Maryland, delay of game.
And that's what the Huskies do. They really do not want to blitz. They do not want a dog. They don't do it that often, but they fake it a lot. But the quarterback, Esiason, has to read it and have the correct audible for the defense.
So it is third down and a lot. There's the career record for Bobby Ross. Maryland going backwards. They have third down and 23. Esiason from a quick count this time. Has time. Has great protection. Fires and it's caught inside the 5 by John Nash. First and goal, Maryland.
You said it, Harry. Great protection. Great protection, and the receivers kept fighting to get open. He had double corners on both sides with his wideouts. He pumps here.
There's John Nash out of the backfield. He caught 19 during the regular season. A tailback, and it's first and goal, Maryland. Nash and Daddio are the running backs. From the power formation, Esiason calling signal. This is Daddio. Maryland recovers at the 7-yard line. Daddio looked like he was going in, but it was rocked out of his grasp. Ken Driscoll.
It's an off-tackle play. Sometimes running backs do the dive a little early. They leave their feet, lose some strength. The ball gets popped out here, but a Maryland recovery.
It was Ken Driscoll that jarred the ball loose, the inside linebacker, senior from Tacoma, Washington. It's second and goal.
Comment on the fumble. Washington
John
assistant
Nash
coach.
and Dave Daddio are the running backs. Esiason sends Emerson in motion. Daddio's going to try it again. Precious little there. He gets 2 to the 6, third and goal.
Tell me when you want me.
Third down and goal to go for Maryland. They have the ball at the 6-yard line, and that is the end of the first quarter. So they'll change ends of the field. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Washington 7, Maryland nothing.
We're hitting hard. Back to you, Harry.
And that, of course, put Maryland in position to try to get a score. They had a long pass play to John Nash, and now it's third and goal from the 6-yard line. Nash and Daddio are the running backs behind Boomer Esiason. Third down goal. Esiason wants to throw for it. Look out. Gets it away to Daddio, and Daddio is touchdown Maryland. A great effort by Dave Daddio. Daddio literally ran through about 3 Husky would-be tacklers for the Terrapin touchdown.
It's a slightly unusual play down here on the goal line. Third and 6. Screen pass to the left. On the screen to the right on the field. Good blocking. You saw the Maryland Terrapins coming up and hitting people. Good strong running by Daddio. Touchdown.
Excellent run after the catch by Daddio. Attempting the conversion, Jess Atkinson. Atkinson has not missed one this year. 39 out of 39 at extra points, and he missed that one. Atkinson, who had not missed a PAT all year, misses this one. And with the score, Washington 7, Maryland 6. We'll be back after this.
I have a comment on one.
That's the tight end, Willie Roseborough from Simi Valley, California. Big one at 6'4", 245 pounds. A third down and 2 call for Washington. They have it at their own 29. Cowan throwing for it. Skansky, a great catch at the 40-yard line, first down.
It's the same play they ran on first down, and it's the type of play they've done all season long. Skansky, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Clutch. Good fake by Cowan there. Skansky runs an out pattern, coming back to the ball, looks it in. First down.
He has great hands. Paul Skansky out of Gig Harbor, Washington, all Pac-10. Well covered on the play by Lendell Jones. Cowan going deep for Skansky, but he throws it out of bounds. Trying to cover Skansky, Lendell Jones. That'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Huskies. They have the ball at their own 40-yard line. Don James in his 8th year as head coach of the Washington Huskies. What success he has had. 66 and 26. Number 1, 7 consecutive weeks this year. Number 1 in the national rankings.
He's the leader of the Pac-10. He's the dean.
It is a second down and 10 call. For Cowan, Washington leading 7-6. Reverse. And it goes nowhere. Reverse to Aaron Williams, really smelled out by Joe Alissi.
Very well played on defense here. It's a fake, off tackle, reverse. Did not catch Maryland by surprise. You see that gang tackling that they're noted for.
Joe Alissi, the senior from West Orange, New Jersey, making the hit. A gain of just a yard on the play. It's third down and 9. Skansky and Williams come wide to the same side, the right side. There you see Cowan's stats on the day. Cowan back to pass. Has a little time. He's got his man. Skansky and a first down, Washington.
That's an example of Skansky's versatility. Sometimes he's in motion, sometimes he's the wideout. In this case, he comes from an inside position. There's a delay pattern by the wideout. Skansky goes underneath for the clutch catch. Again, 50 receptions this season, second best all-time Husky. Maryland, Harry, is rushing defense is third in the country last season. They've only given up 87 yards against the rush, average per game.
So Washington thus putting it in the air, and they get another completion, this time to the Maryland 43 to Aaron Williams, the senior from Tacoma, Washington.
And what I think the game plan is as we talked about earlier, Maryland plays that 3-deep defense, and the Huskies are going to work on the corners. We're going to see more of this all game long.
That gain was for about 4. It's second down and 6. Anthony Allen wide right. Aaron Williams wide left. Jock Robinson inside handoff, and right there to nail him was Mike Corvino. Co-captain and all-ACC, senior from Rosetta, Pennsylvania, 6'2", 238 pounds. Lost a yard on the play. It's third down and 7. So neither team, Joe, has been able to rush the football.
And they're going to have a hard time. They're both well coached. They're fundamentally sound, hard-hitting defensive units.
Cowan calls time as he didn't like the alignment that he saw. So timeout is called by Washington's Tim Cowan, the senior quarterback from Cerritos, California. Washington leading. Series of maybe. Third down for Washington. They have the ball at the Maryland 44-yard line. Washington leading by a point. That much time remaining in the second quarter.
Tim Cowan's having a fine day. 13 for 18, 141 yards, 1 touchdown. reason, good protection, good catching.
Especially by Scansey, who is in motion on this play on a 3rd down and 7. Maryland watch Scansey. Scansey a diving reception short of the 1st down. Eric Wilson there to cover for Maryland, but Scansey is short of the 1st.
Once again, his versatility. Scansey comes across the middle. The linebackers have gone out to their positions. I'm not sure that ball wasn't deflected.
By the official. That almost hit the official. It is a 4th down and short. And Washington will go for it at the Maryland 38-yard line. Tim Cowan on 4th down and short situations is 4 for 4. Quick count.
Backs in motion.
Procedure penalty against Washington. Maybe that's why he's 4 for 4.
But that's the real danger of going for it on 4th down. Not that you may not make it, but that you may have the penalty.
Now, since he did not make the 1st down and there was a penalty on the play, procedure penalty against Washington, it appears that Don James elected to send in his punter, Jeff Partridge, a senior from Tustin, California.
As we said earlier in the broadcast, heavy hitting. Both teams are strong hitting football teams.
And here, Joe, Maryland has a choice. If in fact Washington did not get the 1st down, Maryland can take over on downs and decline the penalty. If they did in fact get the 1st down on Cowan's quarterback sneak, then Maryland will take the penalty.
Right.
And that's what happened, and now Washington will punt away. Partridge, the punter, good punter.
Got a dead ball foul. Procedure. Offense. 4th down.
4th down, and Partridge, who averages 42.1 yard per punt, will punt it away. Back in safety for Maryland is Clarence Baldwin.
It would appear that Maryland will have a return on instead of a block. They've only got 7 men up.
Driving punt, that's destined for the end zone, and Maryland will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
I would have thought they'd made an effort to kick it out of bounds inside the 10, but they punted through the end zone.
And no question he booted it through the end zone, so Maryland will put it in play. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Let's go down to the field and Les Kiter.
Harry, I understand there's a question of why Joyner hasn't played more. He has been in on 2 occasions, and as one of the assistant coaches of Maryland told me, we simply have not had the football enough to play him. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Les. Joyner not in for this series either. John Nash and Rick Badanek are the running backs behind Boomer Esiason. This is Badanek. Badanek is stacked up for a loss of a yard on the play. Good defensive effort by the Washington Huskies as Badanek, who scored a miraculous 9 touchdowns, is really piled up for no gain at 2nd and 10. Bart Stewart there to make the tackle, the All-American linebacker from San Jose, California, 6'3", 227 pounds. Boomer Esiason calling signal. Boomer rolling out, looking upfield. Fires one and is out of the grasp of his tight end, Ron Fazio. We're sorry for the past satellite problems that we've been experiencing, and Metro Sports is trying to get AT&T to fix the problems that we are experiencing here at Aloha Stadium, and we urge your indulgence. It is a 3rd down and 10 call for Esiason from East Islip, New York, 6'4", 198-pound junior quarterback. He sends Hill wide left along with Russell Davis. 7-6 Washington. 10:31 left to play, 1st half.
Once again, Washington is facing the blitz.
Esiason gets away, fires one incomplete at the 40-yard line. It was was intended for Russell Davis. Esiason under heavy pressure again got away from the sack.
It becomes a numbers game, Harry. The quarterback's got to get in the right play if the Huskies are coming with their safeties. So he takes the extra time to make the right audible.
Sadler back to punt. Ray Horton in solo safety. There's a flag down the play. A high boot. Horton does not call the fair catch, and he's dropped immediately at the 36-yard line. Brought down on the play by Bob Gunderman, who is quite a story for Maryland. Gunderman, number 29, who made that tackle, came here the long way. He missed the Maryland team charter because he was having a fractured finger attended to. So he was to come to Hawaii, fly in New York, start in New York, and go to Los Angeles, then to Honolulu. He went from New York to Los Angeles fine, got off the plane, and asked where the flight to Honolulu was. Someone, apparently an official, told him it's at gate 12. So he walked down to gate 12, got on the aircraft. There he is, Gunderman. Got on the aircraft, got up in the air, and as they were flying, he noticed that many passengers were speaking Spanish.
As he said Venezuelan.
He asked the fellow next to him, he said, this plane is going to Honolulu, and then the guy said, no, it's going to Caracas, Venezuela. That's where he ended up. Came back to Honolulu. 28-hour trip. He finally arrived, and he's happy to be here. Sandler gets this one away, and another high spiral. Horton eschews the fair catch. He's nailed, and the ball is at the 50-yard line, recovered by Maryland. Horton flat out will not call a fair catch, and he paid for it that time.
He sure did. That is not good judgment. Great courage.
That's Gunderman. Gunderman right down on top of it.
Great courage, not great judgment.
Oh, that wasn't Gunderman, excuse me. That was Al Covington who forced the fumble. Al Covington. There it is.
As you can see, it's a dangerous maneuver.
So the third fumble for Washington gives Maryland the ball in Husky territory at the 49-yard line.
The Huskies are up in a blitz dog position.
Ray Cattage moved offside, number 61 for Washington, the defensive tackle out of Spokane, but he's claiming he was drawn off, and the officials are claiming no, he was not. Encroachment on the part of the defense is going to get Maryland to 1st and 5. It is against Washington. Washington leads by a point, 7-6. We have 10:03 to play in the first half. 3 turnovers by Washington, none by Maryland. All 3 of them fumbles for the Huskies.
Dead ball, procedure, defense, first down.
We're seeing more dogging, blitzing in all of football. Arizona State in the Pac-10 made a living on it. Most teams will fake the dog in the blitz, and that's what the Huskies are doing here, causing the problem for the Maryland quarterback to change the play.
First down and 5. Maryland, they have it at the Washington 44-yard line. Inside handoff, Nash. Nash gets good yardage, close to a first down at the Washington 38-yard line.
That's the counter play. They fake the fullback in one direction, give it to the tailback in the opposite direction.
Ron Salt, a fine block to make that play go, the junior out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Clipping, however, has been called against Maryland. Clipping penalty is going to nullify the apparent first down run by John Nash. Nash, who set up Maryland's touchdown with a fine reception at the Washington 3-yard line. He has been running at the tailback spot instead of Willie Joyner, who is Maryland's leading rusher with 1,063 yards this year, but Maryland discovering.
Clipping, offense, first down.
It is unusual to see a clipping called on an inside running play. I did not see it, but it is an unusual call.
It is. The Maryland moved, as a result of the penalty, moving back to their own 46-yard line, where it is first and long.
There's 11 men up for Washington. They're faking the blitz.
Esiason has some time, gets a short one to his tight end, John Tice. Tice over midfield and to the Washington 48-yard line before he's brought down on the play. Stopped by Ken Driscoll, the inside linebacker. So it'll bring up a second down and 20 for Maryland at the Washington 48-yard line.
And Maryland's coming back the right way with patience. Little run, little pass. Not trying to get it all in one play.
Esiason pitches back to Nash, who reverses to Lewis. Lewis, nothing there. Got back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's all. So both teams trying reverse, and neither really has gone very well. Caldwell, the tackle for Washington.
Tony Caldwell, senior, fine football player all season long.
Let's go down to the field and Les Kiter.
A change in quarterbacks possible for Washington. I just heard the coach tell Cowan, if we get good field position, you stay in. If not, Pallure takes over. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Les. So that man may come in for the Washington Huskies, Steve Pallure, the junior from Bellevue, Washington, on their next series. Third down and 20. Esiason fires up the middle. Intercepted by Washington. Back to midfield goes Stuart Hill. Stuart Hill, the intercept. And Washington has their first turnover thanks to the man from Redmond, Washington.
Esiason looked at his tight end all the way. He was going to him. It looked like he was going to be open, but the linebacker stepped in front and made the interception.
There he is, Stuart Hill, getting Washington's first turnover. It's 1st and 10 for Washington at the Maryland 48. New quarterback Steve Pallure, the junior from Bellevue, Washington. Pallure in his first series. Gonna put it up in the air right off the bat. Got Scansey inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Big pile up. Scansey dropped the ball. Fumble recovered by Maryland. Scansey dropped the football, and Joe Wilkins and Howard Eubanks were right there for Maryland.
Well, it would appear that it's a sloppy football game when you get these amount of fumbles, but it's not. This is a hard-hitting football game. You'll see right there.
Eubanks and Wilkins sandwiched him the ball loose.
It's called a pigskin sandwich.
Ball at the 37-yard line. Washington's 4th turnover of the game. Maryland has just one. The Maryland back in business, 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. They trail by a point. Handoff, Joyner back in there. Joyner gets substantial yardage to the 42-yard line. Goes Willie Joyner. Joyner, the junior from Brooklyn, New York, was stopped by Stuart Hill on the play, but a pickup of about 5. It's 2nd down and 5. 1,000 and well over 1,000 yards for Joyner this year. Averaged 5.9 per carry during the regular season with 7 touchdowns.
They're going to the short side of the field, Harry, behind the tight end blocking of Satfield. Satfield goes outside.
Azio really jumped on that one.
Here he's in isolation on Big Ron.
Ron Fazio from Willingboro, New Jersey. And that's going to go against Maryland. Going to move it back to the original line of scrimmage, the 37-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Offense, still 2nd down.
Ron's a sophomore, and that was pretty good technique, except he did it early.
Did it a little too early. Maryland coach's defensive coordinator talking to his down lineman, co-captain Corvino there, number 77. On a 2nd down and 10 call for Maryland at their own 37. There. Caddage right down on the bottom of the pile to make the hit along with Ken Driscoll. It was Caddage who got him low, the senior from Spokane, Washington, 243-pounder.
The Terrapins are putting their tight end to the short side of the field. The football's played on the hash, as you see it there. slot to the wide side and running the ball behind the tight end blocking.
They're down to 9 for Esiason. Called an incomplete pass.
That's a close one. It's a judgment called by the official because it could be called a fumble.
Boy, they're putting pressure on Esiason. Watch this.
Yes, they are. He's a fine athlete. Look how he stays in there. Strong, agile.
Caldwell, who missed him the first time, came back to get him the second time.
That's
Great effort by Caldwell.
And that's the kind of player he is. He's an all-out man.
So Sadler back to punt, and Horton back in solo safety.
Here they come.
Rush. Sadler gets it away. Horton won't call a fair catch. He had at the 26.
If he gets the wall,
he goes backwards to the 22-yard line.
The Huskies, believe me, will use that return.
Joe Alisi with the tackle and with the score. Washington 7, Maryland 6. We'll be back after this.
Look.
The long trek to beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii for the inaugural Aloha Bowl. The Washington Huskies there, number 48, has really been in Providence. Tony Caldwell from Compton, California. Washington with the ball, 1st and 10. They have it at their own 21-yard line. Tim Cowan back in at quarterback for the Huskies. Cowan's going to pass on 1st down. Up the middle, he has his man. Tight end Leroy Lutu, and Lutu fights his way to around the 29-yard line before Mike Muller brings him down. Leroy Lutu from Honolulu, 6'4", 221 pounds, a junior. Caught 10 passes during the regular season, including a couple of touchdown catches. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Lutu's having a nice game here in front of his home crowd.
It really is. Throws his intended receiver, Aaron Williams, so it is a 3rd down and 3 for Washington at their 29-yard line. Tim Cowan, the senior from Cerritos, California, has good numbers here in the first half.
He's really throwing the ball well. He's on rhythm.
Great thing for the state of Hawaii.
Thank you, Harry. I want to send my aloha to you and all of your audience out there.
Well, we certainly should have a big one for this beautiful ball game. A gorgeous day here in Hawaii, and this looks like this is going to become one of the bigger bowls.
Yes, we're very grateful to many, many people who were able to help us put it together.
And, of course, the name of it is apt because aloha means the spirit that you find here with all of the people of Hawaii.
It sure is. You know, they talked about a pineapple bowl at one time, but I prefer the Aloha Bowl because it really exemplifies the great spirit that we find in the people here in our state.
Wander, here we are. Now we're on Canberra. Governor Ariyoshi, nice to have you here with us, and we appreciate the great aloha and hospitality you have provided for us during this week. It's been a
Thank you, Harry. And it's nice to have you back again. You know, you used to be a local boy at one time.
That's right. It's like being back home. Governor Ariyoshi, thank you.
Aloha.
There you see the scoring drive. 3 plays, 78 yards. It is 1st and 10. At the 21-yard line for Maryland, down 14-6. Boomer Esiason. Been under heavy pressure today. Pitches back to Nash. Nash jitterbugging his way to the 26, a gain of 5. 2nd and 5. Let's go down to the field and Les Kiter.
All right, Harry. Allen has etched himself forever into the Aloha record book. 2 touchdown passes, and when I asked him what kind of a pattern, he said, hey, just a quick out. That's all. That's it, Harry.
Quick out, and the quick feet of Anthony Allen did the rest for 71 yards. It is 2nd down, a gain of 4, we'll call it. 2nd down and 6 for Maryland. 14-6, the Washington Huskies leading. Russell Davis in motion. Esiason being blitzed, gets it off to Nash, and he fumbles the ball. It'll be incomplete. Boy, what pressure put on Esiason by Mark Stewart, the All-American linebacker, along with Vince Newsom, the free safety. And they're just, Joe, not giving Esiason a chance to set up at all.
Mark Stewart has been the Huskies' big play man all season long. Actually, for the last 3 seasons, outstanding football player, great pressure.
A 3rd down and 6 call. Nash gets the handoff, and then he is swarmed under by Stuart Hill along with a host of Husky tacklers short of the 1st down at the 27-yard line. So Maryland will have to punt it away. Horton back in safety for Washington as Sadler prepares to punt it away. The sophomore from Camp Springs, Maryland. No rush this time. Sadler gets a low boot away, not a long one, and it rolls out of bounds to the 40-yard line, and Washington will have excellent field position at their own 40-yard line. One of the Washington linebackers, Joe Krakowski there. Washington's defense has really put the pressure on Esiason this afternoon. The Huskies leading 14-6. We have 3:53 left to play here in the 1st half. Steve Pallure is in a quarterback now, the junior from Bellevue, Washington. Pallure inside handoff, Jacques Robinson. Robinson was brought down by Tyrone Furman after a pickup on the play of about 3 or 4 yards by Jacques Robinson from San Jose, California. Rose Bowl player of the game last year. Mr. Robinson, number 28, just a sophomore. So Joe Kapp, your Cal team, and all of the Pac-10 will have him to look forward to for 2 more years.
That's right. There won't be any drop-off here with the quarterbacking. Steve's a fine quarterback. Proven himself all season long.
Pallure, sack back at the 32-yard line by a hard rush. Mike Corvino and Tyrone Furman in to make the sack for Maryland.
Great rush by the Maryland Terrapins. They brought both their outside linebackers. Were able to get the sack.
Loss on the play of about 10, bringing up a 3rd down and 17. There's Washington's Don Dow. Talked about how big their offensive line is. Dow goes 280.
Moran at the left tackle is 270.
Short pass to Scansey. He'll be short of the 1st down, gets 7 back to the original line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 10 for Washington. Howard Eubanks to make the tackle for Maryland. Scansey's had quite an afternoon.
Well, as you can see, we keep coming, and the Huskies keep coming to them all season long, and in this particular game. 6 catches, 57 yards.
Not a bad afternoon for him. Jeff Partridge running away to Badanek with 2:26 left to play in the 1st half.
And Maryland, for the first time, have 10 men rushing. And they're coming.
They're coming. They're picked up well, driving boot. Badanek at the 24. Badanek has some running room. Badanek, great effort by the freshman to the 45-yard line.
Talk about a player that has a great future. This Badanek, outstanding football player, hard runner. Scored 9 touchdowns on the season. You can see the acceleration and strength that he has getting upfield here.
Good return by Badanek, a 35-yard punt. Badanek, a 19-yard return. There he is, the freshman.
And he's got 3 seasons left. The Terrapins are proud to have him.
1st and 10, Maryland. They have it at their own 47-yard line. Esiason, they pick up the blitz this time. He's got some time, and he gets it away, and it is caught at the 43-yard line of Washington.
I think there's a little momentum going here for Maryland. They've got just 2 minutes, 1:59 left. They're going into the 2-minute offense. No huddle.
Caught nicely by Darrell Emerson, the senior from Buffalo, New York. 2nd down and very short. And Nash picks up the 1st down and then some inside the 40 to the 38-yard line of Washington before he's stopped by Vince Newsom. Jess Atkinson is warming up on the Maryland sideline. Their field goal kicker, who's been 16 out of 22 in field goal tries this year. And Maryland will call a time to stop the clock with 1:43 to play in the first half. Maryland will have it 1st and 10 at the Washington 38-yard line. Washington leading 14-6 on a couple of touchdown catches by Anthony Allen.
Both teams have fine kickers. You know, as closely as it's being played right now, it could come down to fine field goal kicking.
Well, it was billed as an evenly matched game, and it certainly has been one. Join us next Wednesday, December 29th at 8 Eastern Time for the 1982 Liberty Bowl Football Classic. See Coach Bear Bryant in his final coaching appearance as he takes his Alabama Crimson Tide up against the Fighting Illini of the University of Illinois on most of these Metro Sports television stations. It's a first down for Boomer Esiason and the Maryland Terrapins. They have the ball at the 38-yard line of Washington, trailing 14-6. Esiason back. He is sacked. The ball is loose. A fumble, and Washington has recovered. Ken Driscoll nailed him. And it was before Esiason brought his arm forward, so it is a fumble. Let's watch it.
Esiason looking for, actually going for the bomb, trying to get upfield for a touchdown instead of the field goal. Took a little too much time. The worst thing that could happen to you happened.
Driscoll the sack and pouncing on the football. Stuart Hill the fumble recovery. So now Washington can get on the board prior to the half. Cowan straight back, being rushed, gets it away, a sideline pattern, and very little there. It was caught on the side by Lutu, and Howard Eubanks made the tackle. Here's Les Kiter from the field.
Harry, one of the Husky assistant coaches said what's obvious to all of you viewing. The reason they took that ball away from Esiason, pressure, intensity. We've got it. Back to you.
They have been giving Esiason, blitzing him and giving him an awful lot of pressure. Now Cowan under pressure, incomplete, in and out of the grasp of Jack Robinson. Washington has been sending linebackers, they've been sending corners, they've been sending safeties, Joe, and they just really put the heat on Esiason.
They have great balance. They're capable of sitting back and just playing zones, playing man-to-man, but they're also capable of bringing people. And against Esiason, an outstanding quarterback, they're obviously doing that. It's part of their plan.
It's a third down call. Cowan play action being chased by Corvino. Screen pass, Jacques Robinson. Great defensive play by Mike Muller.
Great hitting.
The senior from Gaithersburg, Maryland, got inside the blocking and made a good tackle on Robinson.
For a minute there, it looked like it could break. Fake to Robinson. They're going to screen back to him behind the left side of the Washington line. Looked like it was going to be a better play than it ended up, and here comes some great tackling. What's that man's name?
Muller. Mike Muller, senior from Gaithersburg, Maryland, got in behind the blockers, so it is a fourth down, and 35 seconds remain to be played. There's Jacques Robinson. Tim Cowan talking with Washington staff on the sideline. On a fourth down call, they have about 6 to go for a first down. Don James played his football at Miami, Florida. 5 of the last 6 years, Washington has gone to bowls, including 2 straight Rose Bowls. Led the Huskies to a 9-2 record this year with losses only to Stanford and Washington State. Let's go down to Les Kiter on the sideline.
Harry, the one thing the Washington Huskies don't want to do is give up any of that 8-point lead going into the locker room. I imagine they're going to play it a bit conservative now and stick to a 14-6 lead.
That's what it is, 14-6 Washington on a fourth down call. And they're not going to punt the ball, risk possibly a blocked punt. With 35 seconds showing on the clock, they'll probably run it on the 4th down call. Eat up most of that time so that Maryland will have at best time for one play before halftime. Not going to run it. Cowan's going to put it up. He's got his man. Penalty marker down the play. Scansey is hit short of a first down by Eric Wilson. A fine tackle by Wilson. There's a penalty marker down on the play. It's going to go against Washington. It's going to be declined. A holding penalty will be declined by Maryland, so Maryland will take over on downs, 1st and 10 at their own 40. And they do have 29 seconds left on the clock.
Yes, they do, and actually the Huskies...
Decline. First down.
Huskies really lost an opportunity here because with the fumble, they really could have gone in, moved the ball up the field, go for the field goal, get an additional 3 points. It may obviously hurt them later on in the game.
Especially with the field goal kicker they have, Chuck Nelson. Esiason under some pressure, gets away, now fires one incomplete. It was intended for Joyner.
I'm very impressed with Esiason's athletic ability. How he got the ball off, I don't know.
He's kind of shaking his head saying, where are all these Huskies coming from?
He's facing some real hungry Huskies out there this afternoon.
He really is. He's getting a lot of pressure. Holding penalty called against Maryland. Holding penalty called against Maryland, and let's go back down to Les Kiter.
Just a comment. You mentioned the pressure and intensity. I noticed Cowan on the bench. You wonder what goes on the bench. He's running up and down, yelling at his teammates, keep up the intensity. Back to you.
They certainly have so far as Washington has a 14-6 lead. Harry Callis with Joe Kapp. Enjoying the sunshine here at Honolulu, Hawaii in the inaugural Aloha Bowl. First down and long with just 21 seconds. Esiason throwing long, got a man right near midfield. Fights his way inside the Washington, right around the Washington 46, and a timeout called by Maryland. That was Mike Lewis, the receiver. Mark Stewart finally made the tackle.
It's a very deep curl-in pattern by the wide receiver. Esiason finds him, puts the ball right on the money. 22-yard completion.
Mike Lewis, the senior from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, was the receiver. Caught 14 passes this year. He averages 15.8 per catch.
I think you'll notice Horton here falls. I think he would have still had the completion.
Stewart finally brings him down from his linebacker spot, and Esiason will have time. Well, he's got 11 seconds to try to get some more points on the board, with Washington leading at 14-6. All right, Joe Kapp, I know you've answered this question 100 times, but I know our audience will want to hear your answer. Cal's brilliant kickoff return to defeat Stanford this year through the Stanford defense and the Stanford band.
Well, we had a great football game against the Stanford Cardinal. John Elway, their great quarterback. We had a great football game even without the last 4-second play. But that play, a great tribute to our players and their ability to adjust and know that the game isn't over until it's over.
Did you design it? Esiason throwing deep. He's got his receiver at the 28-yard line.
4 seconds, 3.
They call a timeout. They might have a shot at a field goal to Greg Hill. Esiason's going to have to throw it away in a hurry. There are just 3 seconds on the clock. Well, the clock, one clock showed 1, another shows none, and Esiason's bid to score before the half falls short as time has run out at halftime.
With the 3 seconds showing, I'm not sure they shouldn't have gone for the field goal. Now, not a Maryland player has left the field, but the Huskies are in the locker room.
Huskies saying, okay, it's halftime. Maryland saying, wait a minute, we've got 1 second to try to kick a field goal, but it is halftime. The field goal effort would have been a 45-yarder. It would have been a long one.
I really don't understand why it takes 3 seconds to get a ball. Stop.
Bobby Ross, the coach of the Maryland Terrapins, arguing with the official and thought he might have had a second left to try to get 3 on the board, but he doesn't. They'll have to take a 8-point deficit into halftime. That's the end of the first half with our score, Washington 14, Maryland 6. We'll be back after this.
I'm Pete Rose.
The halftime lead of 14-6. The first half statistics certainly favor the Huskies. Passing yardage 252 yards to Maryland's 121, but Joe Cap, very little rushing yardage on either side.
That's the key to the game. Very hard-hitting defenses. Maybe that's the way all of football is going. We're seeing it in the pros and we're seeing it in college here. It's tough to run the football.
12 yards for Washington, 16 for Maryland. The turnovers, Washington with 4, Maryland with 2. One of Washington's turnovers leading to the Maryland score. Kicking off for Washington is their All-American kicker Chuck Nelson, the senior from Everett, Washington. And Tim Quander is in safety for Maryland. There's Quander. Nelson, an All-American, an academic All-American the last 2 years. Washington a 14-6 lead in the second half of the Aloha Bowl is underway. Quander 2 yards deep in the end zone. He's going to try it. Quander out to the 22-yard line, or 23. A good effort by Quander. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Maryland as the second half is underway. Making the tackle for Washington, Greg Ondal. Ball at the 23, 1st and 10 for Maryland. Tim Quander returning the kickoff 2 yards deep from his own end zone.
Well, let's see if we get some more rollouts, trying to get away from that Husky rush.
Esiason play action. Shoots a pass. It's caught by his tight end at the 30 and out to the 35 before he's knocked out of bounds to John Tice. Let's go down to Les on the field.
Obviously, in the second half, Maryland trying to shake Esiason loose against the Washington rush. It's been effective. Washington springing Green loose, trying to do it again, and that's going to be the big battle along with the defensive hitting. Back to you.
Darrell Emerson goes wide to the left, wide to the right is Mike Lewis. On a 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. There you see the passing stats for the quarterbacks. Esiason and Cowan. Nash gets the handoff up over the 35 to about the 38-yard line. I'm sorry, that's Willie Joyner, the ball carrier, not Nash. Joyner was brought down by Mark Stewart on the play. Joyner and all of the running backs have been able to get precious little on the ground this afternoon.
We're seeing that coming out after the halftime rest, that Maryland came to their tight end, John Tice, who is their leading receiver all season long. I think we'll see more of that.
It is a 2nd down and 7 call for Boomer Esiason. He sends Emerson in motion. Play action. Esiason sacked from behind, gets it away to Daddio. Daddio to midfield. Esiason on his way down, got the pass away and got the ball into Washington territory to Dave Daddio.
Fine play by the quarterback, Esiason.
Mark Stewart, the linebacker, got right through it. Would-be blocker, and he had Esiason in his grasp. But Boomer got it away for 13 yards and a 1st down, Maryland. Esiason rolling out. Esiason going to run, and he picks up substantial yardage, close to a 1st down. I think he has it. Well, Joe, it looks like Maryland tried to move Esiason out of the pocket and roll out a little bit.
No, I think you have to, and you're seeing it here, and you can only do that if you have the great athletic ability like Esiason is showing here. You see a nice block here, if we could. It's not quite on camera.
Ball at the 38-yard line, it's 1st down. Maryland won the inaugural Hall of Fame Bowl. Playing in the inaugural Aloha Bowl, trailing here 14-6. Esiason gets a foul pass off to Daddio, and Daddio's going to be corralled down at the 36-yard line. Stewart Hill making the hit. Right around the 36-yard line, a pickup of just 2 on that pass, and Esiason was under heavy pressure.
This is a fine drive Maryland's putting together here, and once again, they're doing it because Esiason has the ability to evade the rush.
Washington sending into their defensive lineup Brian Stone. He's the nose guard. 2nd down and 8. for Maryland. They have the ball at the Washington 36-yard line.
John Tice.
Tice has it. Tice at the 30. Tice 20. 15, 10. Touchdown, Maryland. From Boomer Esiason to the tight end, John Tice.
The quarterback was going to him all the way. 36-yard touchdown pass. 20-some of it after the reception. Very strong runner. Here he is. Takes the outside release. Fakes. Goes in the flat. The defender took a chance there. Showing great strength, great running, acceleration, and burst. He wanted it.
Vince Newsom tried for the intercept for Washington, but John Tice got the touchdown. John has a brother who plays in the National Football League, Mike Tice for the Seattle Seahawks. And his dad also went to Maryland, and now Maryland is calling a timeout. Might be a decision as to whether to go for 1 or 2. Down 14-12 here. There's Tice, 6'6", 240 pounds from Central Islip, New York. He has caught passes in 24 straight games now, counting this Aloha Bowl, a Dean's List student.
The drive, 6 plays, 77 yards, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Fine effort, Esiason to John Tice.
So Maryland coming out, getting the second half kickoff, trailing by 8. And they came out and had a very impressive drive, Joe, and important certainly for the team and the coach.
Oh, absolutely, and I think right now they'll probably go for the 2.
They are going to go for the 2. Esiason is in there.
Good chance we'll see him go to John Tice again, too.
Running backs are Joyner and Daddio. They'll go for the 2-point conversion and a possible tie.
Running it
to nothing there. Joyner was stacked up. The 2-point conversion try falls way short. And with the score, Washington 14, Maryland 12. We'll be back after this.
You. The memory of it will remain with me always. Where was Mark Twain when he wrote those words? On Maui.
Let it be recorded, that was momentum at work. Maryland left the field at halftime, irate, including Coach Ross, that they lost 3 seconds at the end of the half. They came out, they capitalized on that anger, and momentum took in a touchdown.
So it is 14-12 Washington as Atkinson kicks off. This is Anthony Allen, the offensive. Oh, he's turned backwards at the 19-yard line. What a hit at the 19-yard line for Maryland by number 86, Gerald Austin.
I think
Anthony Allen has scored both Washington touchdowns, number 15.
I think that type of hitting on both of these teams is evident on that last kickoff.
Now Washington with their first possession of the second half. Tim Cowan, the quarterback.
Double tight formation.
Double tight end, inside handoff to Chris James. I think that's his first carry of the afternoon, is it not? Chris James, the fullback, senior from Tacoma, Washington, his second carry as we look at Boomer Esiason. James picks up on the play, good 7 yards before he's stopped by Mike Muller with his second down and 3. Don James going with a double tight end formation. Now he's out of it. He has just a single tight end. Second down and 3 call. Jock Robinson, gaping hole, closes quickly at the 31-yard line, but a first down. Bill McFadden came up from his strong safety to make the hit. Big hole, and McFadden made a key tackle, or Robinson might have been off to the races.
And you see Jacques kind of hitting his hand there. He knew the hole was bigger than that. He should have made more yards.
So rushing it very tough in the first half. Washington here has picked up a first down on 2 rushes. Cowan rolling out. Sideline pattern, it's incomplete. It was intended for Anthony Allen. He was well covered on the play.
That's the bootleg play. Fake run in one direction, come back against the grain, and try to throw the out to the wide receiver. Second
down and 10, Washington. They have it at their own 32. Washington a 2-point lead. Cowan completed 54% of his passes during the season. He sends Aaron Williams wide right. Wide to the left goes Anthony Allen. Inside handoff. Power off, tackle run, gets the ball up to about the 36-yard line. A pickup on the play of 4. They'll bring up a third down and 6.
Pretty good get off by the Husky line there.
Washington with the ball at their own 36-yard line. They have a 2-point lead. 10:45 to go, third period. Walton Hunt, the fullback. Jock Robinson, the tailback. A quick pass. Gets enough for the first down to Aaron Williams. Aaron Williams just getting the first down. A quick pass from Tim Cowan. He was stopped by Bill McFadden and Howard Eubanks. Washington sideline sending in the plays as Walt Hunt comes out of the lineup for the Huskies, and back in is Chris James at fullback. Ball at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10, Washington. Maryland taking the second half kickoff, driving it all the way down for a touchdown. Now Washington's turn, and that pass is incomplete. He underthrew Aaron Williams, his intended receiver. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Maryland now are in an odd man line there on a few occasions, which is not their base defense. The base defense is the even. Defensive guards on the guards. Defensive tackles out on the ends.
2nd down and 10, Washington. They have it at the 42-yard line. Anthony Allen wide right, wide to the left is Aaron Williams. Back to pass is Cowan. Got his man, Anthony Allen, over midfield, close to a first down at the Maryland 48-yard line. Anthony Allen was finally stopped by Mike Muller. What a game Allen's had.
And once again, fine protection. It makes it all happen. Allen came underneath on a delay. Nicely open, and Maryland better tackle him, because if they don't, he's going to go much further.
He has scored 2 touchdowns, one of them a 71-yard touchdown, mostly on his running. That much to go for a first down. It'll be 3rd down and that much to go for a first down. Anthony Allen will come off. An extra tight end will come in. Tim Cowan has had a fine passing day.
I would guess that this may be the finest day he's had as a Husky.
He had a pretty good game against a team you know, California.
I wasn't going to talk about it.
Cowan to the 45-yard line. Didn't he throw for 3 touchdowns against California?
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to discuss it.
But Tim is a senior. He gives the Huskies great leadership. Pelur's a fine quarterback, but all season long, Tim Cowan came through when they had to.
Ball at the 45-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Washington. James and Robinson are the running backs, and Robinson gets the handoff, and he runs head-on into Mike Muller. Muller, the senior linebacker from Gaithersburg, Maryland's had a fine game for the Terrapins. Got Jock Robinson after a pickup of just a yard on the play. It's 2nd down and 9.
And we're seeing what the Huskies like to do. They'll mix up the run, they'll mix up the pass. They're keeping the Terrapins honest with the run, but we'll see that pass, probably the bootleg or the play pass.
It is 2nd down for Washington. They have the ball at the 44-yard line of Maryland.
An unusual formation, trips right with motion.
Cowan back to pass, up the middle. Jock Robinson can't hang on.
Hot potato pass.
The 44-yard line of Maryland, where it'll be a 3rd down and 9 for Washington.
Notice that Allen and Williams are the wide receivers.
Play action. Wobbly passes. deflected, wobbling so badly that 37 Joe Wilkins could not hang on. So now, punting situation coming up for Washington.
Corvino here putting pressure on the quarterback. Got his hand on the ball. And here,
there's his reaction when Wilkins couldn't hang on.
He says, "Oh, my mom."
But Corvino tipped it. Partridge is back to punt. Partridge gets a high boot away. They're going to let it go and hope that it goes into the end zone, and it does. It took a Maryland pop into the end zone. Maryland will have it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. With the score, Washington 14 and Maryland 12. We'll be back after this.
And they're giving him a rest. He's okay. Stancy did injure his ankle on Monday, a slight sprain, but he is all right. The coach says they're just giving him a rest. He will be back.
Stancy will be back. He was not in that series for Washington, the outstanding wideout for the Washington Huskies. We wondered why. He's got a slight ankle problem, but as Les Kiter mentioned, probably will be back in the game. Maryland 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 14-12 Washington. Esiason going to stay to the air. Esiason just a flat pass to Bedanek, and Bedanek could not hang on. That'll be 2nd down and 10.
I couldn't say for sure, but one of the things that it looks like Maryland might have done at the half is tighten up the line splits. Just basically get tighter so the linebackers or linemen don't have as much room to break inside and rush the passer.
Maryland sends Greg Hill wide to the right. Wide to the left is Russell Davis on a 2nd down and 10 call. Esiason gets one away, caught by Bedanek, and he's nailed at the 25-yard line. A pickup of 5, and he was really rocked down hard by Ray Horton.
This is a little bootleg play pass. Bedanek, I'm impressed with his ability. He's a fine athlete. He looked that ball in and took a heavy hit and still got upfield for yardage.
Picked up 5 on the play. It's 3rd down and 5. That is Bedanek, who hung on to the football, who's shaken up on the play. The fine freshman who scored 9 touchdowns for Maryland this year. Every 1 out of 7 rushes that he attempted this year was a touchdown. 5'10", 214-pounder out of West Farmington, Ohio, Bedanek.
Very strong runner, and probably, I think it's a shot to the intestines here.
Well, Bedanek down on the field. He hung onto the football, got 5 yards on the play. There's a Washington Husky. Washington leading right now 14-12. Bobby Ross, head coach of the Maryland Terrapins. He's also been assistant coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. Coached 5 years at the Citadel. This is his first year at Maryland. ACC Coach of the Year. Captain BMI in his playing days was a 3-sport letterman.
I talked to him during the week, as you and I, Harry, and he basically was the stricter of the coaches. He had the men on curfews and basically say, we're going to put our game face on game day.
Well, be sure to join us next Wednesday, December 29th at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for the 1982 Liberty Bowl Football Classic. See Coach Bear Bryant in his final coaching appearance as he takes his Alabama Crimson Tide up against the Fighting Illini of the University of Illinois on most of these Metro Sports television stations. Harry Callis along with Joe Kapp at the Aloha Bowl. Joe Kapp, the only man in the history of football to quarterback the Hula Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Grey Cup, and the Super Bowl. Not much on the ground as you look at that graphic.
But it does indicate that both coaches want to run the ball. They want to establish the run, which will help the pass game, slow down the rush, all of the things that you want a balanced attack. The Huskies obviously leading. They had a few more opportunities to put points on the board. Here they come out of the huddle.
Danik going off under his own power. On a 3rd down and 5 call for Esiason. Inside handoff. Nash fighting to try to get the first down. He is oh so close. I don't think he got there. Brought down by Tommy Amber, sophomore. And Nash is short of the first down by a yard, so Maryland will bring their kicking team in, and Alan Sadler will punt. Horton in solo safety for Washington. Horton, who all afternoon has disdained the fair catch. 35 yards per punt for Sadler today. Oh, he really gets his foot into this one. Horton backed up to the 17-yard line. Horton some running room. Penalty marker down. 2 penalty markers are down. Horton's going to go all the way, but they're dragged down on the field, all over the field. You got to believe that this will be called back because of a clip.
As sometimes can happen when you get the great punt. 53 yards.
53-yard punt and a return of 83 yards by Horton, but it's all going to be called back. There was a clip. Maybe that's why there was so much running room for Horton. There are probably at least 2 clips.
Well, I saw one effort by a Husky to avoid the clip, but there were obviously others upfield.
Brings it back to the 24-yard line where Washington will start.
During the run back, first down.
It is a clip. 1st and 10 for Washington at the 24-yard line. Huskies lead 14-12. With the score, Washington 14 and Maryland 12. They'll be back after this.
Time. Send it, Federal Express.
How much the coach had to do with it, but in the second quarter, when Horton fumbled one kick and just was fighting for his life, the coach told the team on punt protection, let's give Ray a chance back there. They did on the last play, and you saw what happened.
He went 83 yards, but it was wiped out by the clipping penalty, going deep, and this is nearly intercepted. Aaron Williams, the intended receiver, Lendell Jones, who makes a habit of intercepts, almost picked that one off. Jones out of Easton, Pennsylvania, number 6 for Maryland, defending on the play. Don James looking on for the Huskies on a 2nd down and 10. Washington with the ball at their own 24-yard line. Washington a 2-point lead. 6:54 to play, 3rd period. Scansey is in on this offensive series. As Les mentioned, he would be. And he's in motion. Paul Scansey. Cowan calling timeout.
And Maryland lining up in their wide tackle 6, but their linebackers faking the dog, faking the blitz. Cowan chooses to come and talk to the coach. What do I do, coach?
Called timeout rather than run the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Washington. They have it at the 24-yard line. The Aloha Bowl from Honolulu, the only bowl outside of New Year's Day games pitting 2 top 20 teams, Washington and Maryland, the East versus the West. We have a couple of coneheads in attendance even here in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Okay, it's a very unusual game that we don't see Chuck Nelson kicking some field goals for the Huskies.
That's right.
So he hasn't been on the field to kick a field goal yet, and he may come into importance later on in the football game.
You would think so. The All-American kicker has missed just 1 field goal try this year, 25 out of 26. Hadn't missed an extra point since 1980. Bobby Ross talking over his strategy. On the other sideline, the Terrapin sideline, where it's 2nd down and 10. Cowan back to pass. He wants Scansey. He's got him. 1st down, Washington at the 39-yard line. Lendell Jones the tackle.
Beautifully executed curl-in pattern. Scansey pushes his man upfield, finds the open lane, inside the outside linebacker. Well played. And the defender makes Paul pay. He says, fine, catch the ball in front of me, but you're going to pay for it.
Scansey has caught 50 of them during the regular season. Jack Robinson gets the handoff, and Robinson really is finding very little running room.
I think the quarterbacks and the coaches are calling plays, running plays, basically just to keep the linemen at home.
Eric Wilson making the tackle on Robinson along with Curtis Brown, senior from Wilson, North Carolina. Robinson moving the ball for 3. It's 2nd down and 7. Washington at the 42. Washington a 2-point lead. 14-12 in the 3rd quarter. Scansey coming in motion. Inside handoff. James met by Maryland. Chris James bounced off the pile and then lost more. Curtis Brown, big 261-pound defensive tackle, was right there to greet Chris James.
It's your basic handoff dive and nothing there. James bounces back and gets met by a, I guess that's a turtle party.
Yeah,
a terrapin turtle party.
A loss of 2. It is 3rd down and 9 for Washington. Scansey in motion. Play action. Got Scansey, but short of the 1st down as he brought down hard by Howard Eubanks, the outside linebacker. Pickup of just 4 on the pass completion to Scansey.
Here's the fake play pass. Scansey coming across linebackers. He's caught 10 now for 86 yards. It's got to be their favorite play.
Good news is that Rick Badanek, who was shaken up earlier for Maryland, is all right. He's back to take the kick from Partridge. Partridge gets a line drive. Badanek back at the 8-yard line. Badanek up to about the 13, and there he is upended. Brought down on the 18-yard line on a good defensive play by Dan Bernisi. And with the score, Washington 14 and Maryland 12. We'll be back after this. This punt away. Oh, look at Partridge. Well, I'm telling you, he's got some thespian blood in him, an actor. Like my colleague Joe Kapp of Semi-Tough in The Longest Yard.
Come on now. Those are all forgettable parts, so let's forget them.
Esiason brings out the Maryland Terrapins, 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Joyner, the ball carrier, gets over the 15. Good effort by Willie Joyner. He was corralled at the 18-yard line, picked up close to 5 yards. Stuart Hill making the tackle for Washington. Washington sends Fred Small in for Tony Caldwell, who was limping off the field for the Huskies at a linebacker spot. Caldwell had a fine first half for the Huskies. Ball spotted at the 19-yard line. A pickup on the play of around 5. It's 2nd and 5 for Maryland. 3:55 left to play, 3rd period. Esiason gets his pass away, and it is caught. A good reception by Tice at the sideline. Good for only about 3 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2.
John Tice, their leading receiver, comes right across in front of the linebackers, gets out in the flat, gets the completion, but can't quite keep his feet to turn up and get the 1st down.
Well, Maryland will have a 3rd down call. 3rd down, 2 to go for the 1st down from their own 22-yard line. Esiason inside. Joyner has the 1st down up over the 25. No, that's John Nash, excuse me. Nash the 1st down up over the 25 to the 28-yard line where Fred Small made the tackle.
And really the nicest, cleanest hole we've seen for the Maryland Terrapins today.
John Nash rushed one for 67 yards against Wake Forest.
Back to the chalkboard.
Diagramming a play for quarterback Cowan. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Esiason looking upfield, got a man open. He's got it at the 45. That's Mike Lewis. Esiason to Mike Lewis for a first down to the 45-yard line of Maryland.
And we've noticed how the good running attack has helped the protection for the Terrapins. Drop back pattern, deep curl-in pattern by Lewis. He caught that pass earlier in the second quarter. Nice play. Well executed.
First and 10, Maryland. They have the ball at the 45-yard line. Esiason back to pass. Shoots one. What a great catch by Darrell Emerson at the 44-yard line of Washington, a first down. What a reception by Emerson.
Great catch. He was turning in, the receiver turning in. The ball was thrown to his outside, but he was able to reach back with his first base mitt and make the catch.
Darrell Emerson, the senior from Buffalo, New York, a spectacular grab.
Esiason is showing the poise and the coolness you want in your quarterback. Sharp passing.
First and 10, Maryland. They have the ball at the Washington 45-yard line. Play action. Wide open Titus. Tice to the 36-yard line. He'll be shy of the first down, but a pickup of 9. Dropped by Ray Horton.
That's the bootleg. Fakes strong side. Has his wide out doing an out on the top of the screen, and the tight end coming across. He's now got 6 catches, 85 yards. He's the all-time leading Terrapin passer, Boomer Esiason.
Esiason brings out the Terps on second down and a yard for the first down. We'll see if he'll try to get the first or go for the bundle on second down. He'll try to get the first to Nash, and Nash is not going to get the first, but he's going to lose about 3 yards.
Esiason's having a
Tony Caldwell. There's Caldwell.
There's the hitter.
Caldwell stopped everything. Well, he's made some big defensive plays for Washington this afternoon. It's a third down and about 5 for Maryland now at the Washington 39.
I'm just going to make a point of some of the great quarterbacks that Maryland has had. My old opponent, Bernie Filoni. Great quarterback.
Quick out. He's got his man. Shakes away from one man. Another inside the 30 to the 27-yard line goes John Nash. Fine effort by Nash, the senior tailback from Baltimore, Maryland.
This is a man in the flat. Nash coming out of the backfield, making the catch.
Got away from Washington's leading tackler, Driscoll.
He's a hard runner.
Got down inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line, where Maryland has a first down. Lots of Terrapin fans have traversed the long distance from Maryland to Honolulu, Hawaii to take in this inaugural Aloha Bowl. Time has run out in the third quarter. Maryland driving with the football, and that is the end of the third quarter with our score, Washington 14, Maryland 12. We'll be back after this. At the Aloha Bowl in Honolulu, Hawaii. Maryland on the move. They trail by 2. They have it first and 10 at the Washington 28-yard line as the fourth and final quarter gets underway. Esiason at quarterback. Daddio and Nash are the running backs. Daddio greeted right in his tracks by Tim Meamber. Daddio, the ball carrier, and Meamber was right there to say hello to Daddio. A loss on the play of 1. It'll be second down, 11.
Tim Meamber from Wairika, California. Very promising sophomore linebacker. Heavy hitter.
Missed the last 2 games of the season. Finished with 111 tackles on the year. It's second down, 11. You can look for Esiason to go to the air. He's back. It's a quick one off to Nash. Nash is corralled. Gets away. What an effort by Nash. Fights inside the 20 to the 17. Washington claiming he was down back upfield. But Nash with a brilliant effort. What a game John Nash has had. He's a backup to Willie Joyner.
You know, in every game you're going to have some big plays. We're going to see now if he was down like Washington claimed. Very acrobatic play. We could see here that he was not down.
Wow.
He kept his feet, got upfield, and his great effort. We'll see it again from a different angle. Acrobatic running. Squeeze. When you're tackling, you got to squeeze.
Boy, he's had quite a game. He's a backup tailback for Willie Joyner, but he's been the man of the hour for Maryland. John Nash, 6'1", 200-pounder from Baltimore, Maryland. Not enough for a first down. It's second down, about a foot. Rather, third down. No, it's second, I guess, and about a foot for Maryland. That is third down. Maryland down by 2. Calls out Nash. Nash has the first down. Nash inside the 15 to the 13. It's first down, Maryland. Ball at the Washington 13-yard line.
They're running the basic formation that both teams are running today, are an I formation with a slot to the wide side of the field. Most of the running success has been from the I formation, which is typical of college football. Here's I slot right.
Maryland's 2 touchdowns coming by pass today. Esiason threw 18 touchdown passes during the season. Nash inside the 10. Nash to the 3-yard line. John Nash is the story here at the Aloha Bowl this afternoon.
This is tailback to the short side of the field, to the tight end side. Fine blocking upfield. Nash has got that burst of speed to the outside. Fine run.
He eludes tacklers so well. Finally stopped by Chris O'Connor. It's second down and 1 at the 4-yard line.
You called it, Harry. Esiason's thrown 18 touchdown passes this season.
Goes to Daniel this time. By Stuart Hill at about the 3-yard line and pushed backwards, but we'll see where his forward progress took him.
I would think he got it.
12-19 and counting. Depends on where they spot the ball. I don't think he got it. He is short. They have to go to the 3, and I think he's at the 3.25-yard line. Stuart Hill has had a fine game at linebacker for Washington, number 46, junior from Redmond, Washington.
I think we ought to give credit to that offensive left side of the Maryland Terrapins. Kevin Glover, left tackle, Ron Solt, left guard, and the center, Doug Miller.
I think really for a couple of teams that average 30 points a game, you got to give credit to the defensive units on both sides this afternoon as well. It's 14-12 here in the fourth quarter.
Big point, Harry.
It is short. It'll be third down. Inches for a first down.
Well, that's an old quarterback. You got to be an optimist.
Nash and Daddio, the running backs behind Esiason.
I will tell you, the Huskies are tough down here.
Esiason quarterback sneak, and look, he probably went ahead far enough to get the few inches that he needed for a first down and goal to go. Washington leading 14-12. Esiason just went over his setter, Doug Miller, along with guards Ron Solt and Len Lynch, and got himself the first down and goal to go at the 3-yard line. Down goal at the 3-yard line. Daddio and Nash, the running backs behind Esiason. Maryland trying to take the lead. Inside handoff. Daddio goes up and not in. maybe a yard.
I'm going to say that the Terrapins should try to go for the pass. The Huskies are going to be tough down here against the run.
Huskies a little heavier up front down to the pits than Maryland. Gain of only 1. Caddy just limping off the field for Washington. Coming in to replace him, Ron Holmes.
Maryland in their double tight end offense.
Second down, goal to go. They call on Nash. Touchdown, Maryland, John Nash.
Like I said.
Maryland has taken the lead for the first time here at the inaugural Aloha Bowl, and he deserved the touchdown, number 3.
This is a trap to the right. Your left guard with a lead block by your fullback. Nash reads it properly and cuts in behind the block for the touchdown. Guard full. Nash cuts back when he sees the daylight.
John Nash has rushed 10 times for 41 yards, 1 touchdown. Also has caught a few passes and made some fine plays for Maryland. He was the key to that drive. Terrapins going for the 2-point conversion. Esiason blitz. Esiason gets it away. It is caught by Tice. A brilliant play and catch by Esiason to Tice for a 2-point conversion.
Just a tremendous effort. He had 3 receivers open. Out to the left, he has a man open. Under big pressure, obvious pressure here. He keeps his feet.
Wow.
Delivers the football.
What a fine play by Esiason to Tice. The 2-point conversion is good. And with the score, Maryland taking the lead for the first time. The Terrapins 20, Washington 14. We'll be back after this. Back at Aloha Stadium for the inaugural Aloha Bowl, where Maryland has taken the lead for the first time, 20-14, thanks to John Nash, a reserve running back who has picked up today 41 yards on the ground, 42 yards in pass receptions, and he almost single-handedly was accounted for that touchdown by Maryland with some very strong running, and he got the touchdown run.
Harry, that was the finest scoring drive of the day. 8 minutes, 46-second possession. The key to it is 16 plays. And like you said, Nash, running, passing, catching the ball. Just an outstanding effort. Don't forget Boomer Esiason.
Outstanding effort by him on the 2-point conversion with Huskies draped all over him. Got the 2-point conversion to Tice. Atkinson to kick off. This one will be returned at the goal line and only up to the 10-yard line, and that is all. Great coverage by Tim Quander. Peoples was nailed at the 10-yard line. Let's go down to Les Kiter.
Harry, ball control over an 8-minute period and the poise of one Boomer Esiason. Those were the ingredients, along with the running of Nash and the 2-point conversion. And now we'll see what kind of poise the Huskies have and their ability to come from behind.
Washington behind for the first time. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. They have 90 yards to try to travel. Cowan, the quarterback. Cowan, counter play to Jack Robinson, and Robinson up over the 15 to about the 18-yard line. He reeled off 8.
A good call, and better than that, good blocking.
It'll be a 2nd down and 2 call for Tim Cowan. 10-20 and counting. Maryland leading by a score of 20-14. Inside, Parker down on the play. Chris James was really met on the play, short of the first down. There's a penalty marker down on the play. Chris James did not get the first down, the fullback. officials are talking over the penalty. It is against Washington. Moving back 5 yards.
Illegal shift. Offense. Second down.
Second down and 6 now for Washington at their own 14-yard line.
Trips left formation for the Huskies.
Ball batted in the air as Cowan was back to pass, and there's a penalty marker down again. Coming in hard was Mark Duda, the senior from Plymouth, Pennsylvania, and a holding penalty called against Washington.
Well, the tide is turned here. Momentum is definitely on the Terrapin side. There's 9 minutes and 43 seconds left to go in the game, so there's plenty of time.
Watch 98, Mark Duda. He deflected the pass, and a strong rush by Duda, who recorded 13 sacks this year.
Mark's one of their leaders on defense. He makes things happen.
Now Maryland has a decision of whether to accept the penalty or decline it, keep it at second down, or make it third down and 6. And Maryland evidently has declined the holding penalty.
Decline.
Yep, they have.
Third down.
Interesting decision. You push him back more for the holding penalty and keep it at second, or do you decline and make it third, Joe? What do? You're the coach.
Let's see what happens, and then I'll tell you what I do.
They have opted to decline the penalty. It's third down and about 6 for Washington. Tim Cowan, who had a fine first half throwing, getting a little more pressure here in the second half. Hand off to Jacques Robinson, and Robinson is stopped short of the first down at the 18-yard line. Robinson brought down by Mike Muller.
Interesting call.
Duda.
Interesting call. They played it safe. Played it safely.
It is a fourth down, and Partridge has come in to punt for Washington. Back in safety, Pedanek.
10 men up for the Terrapins. And they're coming.
Partridge gets it away. Oh, what a tremendous punt by Partridge. Pedanek back at the 25. Pedanek to the 30. Pedanek up to the 41-yard line. A fine return by the freshman Rick Pedanek for Maryland. Maryland will have it first and 10.
A 56-yard punt, Harry. 16-yard return.
16-yard return by Pedanek, making it first and 10 at the 40-yard line. With the score, Maryland 20 and Washington 14. We'll be back after this. Honolulu, Hawaii, where Maryland has a 6-point lead over Washington and the football with 8:51 left to go. First and 10, Maryland. They have it at their 40-yard line. Pedanek and Nash are the running backs behind Boomer Esiason. Inside handoff to Pedanek, and Pedanek goes right down. Might have lost a yard on the play. Tony Caldwell was there, along with Dean Browning.
I believe Maryland, Coach Ross, they played too many close football games to know, and against such good opponents, that they can't play it safely here. I think they'll open up and continue the offense that they've had all this second half.
With a 6-point lead, there's still plenty of time for Washington. 8:20. There you see Esiason's stats on the afternoon. Both quarterbacks with good numbers. Esiason rolling out. Going to try to run it. Gets up to the 46. He's short of the first down. He was brought down hard on the play by Tim Amber. They spot the ball at the 46-yard line or 47-yard line. Pick up by Esiason of around 7 or 8. Let's go down to Les Kiter.
Harry, one of the ingredients of this game is the specialty team's performance. Except for the 83-yard punt return that was called back. Washington unable to cover on punts, and conversely, Maryland getting great field position. Back to you.
Maryland has a third down and 4 from their own 46-yard line. Esiason's going to throw for it. Being rushed, gets a pass away, incomplete. Heavy pressure put on Boomer Esiason by Ron Holmes. a sophomore from Lacey, Washington. Maryland will be forced to punt. Horton back in safety for Washington. Sadler doing the punting for Maryland. 7:26 left to play. Maryland by 6. And snap, they're coming, but he gets it away and a good punt by Sadler. Horton back at the 13. Horton is corralled inside the 10-yard line. Just exactly what Les was talking about. Special team punt coverage by Maryland has been superb this afternoon.
Not many teams outplay the Washington Huskies in the special teams department.
And with the score, Maryland 20 and Washington 14. We'll be back after this. This time, we'd like to thank the staffs of these two fine universities for their assistance with today's telecast. University of Washington Huskies Athletic Director Mike Lude, Head Football Coach Don James, Sports Information Director Mike Wilson. Washington 1st and 10. They have it at their own 7-yard line. They've got to go 93 yards. And Jock Robinson gets the call, and Jock Robinson gets nailed. He gets nailed by Mark Duda, the defensive tackle for Maryland. And for the University of Maryland Terrapins, our thanks to Athletic Director Richard Dick Dull, Head Football Coach Bobby Ross, Sports Information Director Jack Zane, the Aloha Bowl Committee, Executive Director Maki Yanakizawa, Associate Executive Director Ray Nagel. Our thanks for making our stay here superb. Cowan back to pass, has some time, fires the sideline, got his man, Aaron Williams at the first down at the 27-yard line.
Very well executed bootleg pass. There's the fake. Cowan out on the rollout portion.
Well, there's great natural beauty here in the Hawaiian Islands, but the true beauty of the islands is her people, and that's what this bowl is all about. Cowan back to throw. Double pump, gets it out to his tight end, Willie Roseborough. Roseborough up to the 34 before Eubanks, along with Baldwin, make the hit. There aren't too many more beautiful human beings than the executive director of this bowl, Maki Yanakizawa. Maki no Kaoi. Both Cowan and Esias and Joe have racked up a lot of yards through the air. 287 for Cowan, 251 for Esiason. Washington a second down and 5 call. They're down by 6. Cowan in and out of the grasp of Roseborough, his tight end. Roseborough was well covered by Mike Muller along with Joe Wilkins, the inside linebackers.
Both quarterbacks play with great poise. Here's it's high. It's a high ball. Pretty tough to catch. And he paid the price for going after it. Maryland seems to have more emotion in this fourth quarter, but the Huskies have had 2 fine completions, and they're coming back.
It's a third down, a big third down call for Tim Cowan. Cowan back to pass, has time, got his man. There's a penalty marker down the play, close to a first down to Aaron Williams. Mike Muller the tackle, but there's a penalty marker down on the play, and I think it's going to be a holding penalty. Holding. Holding penalty against Washington. It will be accepted by Maryland. That's going to move the Huskies back. 6:17 left to play.
The quarterback, Tim, telling his players to keep their poise. Doing what a quarterback's supposed to do.
Offense, third down.
So now it brings up a third down and 13. There we see the penalties pretty even in penalties this afternoon.
Pretty well played game.
Might say now that I think the officials have done a fine job this afternoon in this game.
A lot of time left. 6 minutes.
Cowan looks upfield. Cowan gets it away.
We might have an interference call here.
Washington really wants it. Anthony Allen looked like he was interfered with by Bobby DePaul, but no call. And it is a 4th down. Cowan also coming out to put in his 2 cents worth. He thought his receiver, Anthony Allen, was interfered with, but no call, and Partridge comes in to punt. 5:57 left. Maryland by 6, 20-14. Danik back in safety for Maryland. Ten men on the line of scrimmage for the Maryland Terrapins. Good snap. Fake punt. He's going to pass for it. It's incomplete, and Maryland is going to take over on down. The pass from Partridge, and he was trying to hit Dave Stransky. A split end, but it was incomplete, and Maryland will have great field position with the score. Maryland 20, Washington 14. We'll be back after this. John James of the Washington Huskies now can only hope that his defense can put the clamp on Maryland. Maryland taking over on downs. They have the ball at the Washington 19-yard line.
Never let it be said that the coach didn't go for the win. Took a gamble on 4th down. Play really wasn't open. Even if he would have caught the ball, I'm not sure he would have made the 1st down.
It was not only incomplete, there was a penalty on the play, a penalty involving an ineligible receiver downfield and a loss of down penalty, which turns the ball over and gave Maryland 5 more yards to the Washington 19-yard line, where Maryland will have it 1st and 10. We apologize for some of the satellite problems that we have had this afternoon, coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii. And we certainly hope that those notwithstanding, you've enjoyed this Aloha Bowl Classic. Still plenty of time to play. 5:51, and for Washington, it's imperative that their defense have a big series here. Maryland 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Esiason sends a man in motion. This is Daddio. Daddio gets about 1 yard, and that's all. Daddio, the ball carrier.
Chris O'Connor makes a big hit.
Chris O'Connor, the strong safety from Bellevue, Washington. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for Maryland. Maryland with a 6-point lead. What do you think, Joe? Conservatism, try to tack on a field goal, give yourself 9?
Well, the 10, well, that's... The 9 is the sure win.
It's a 2nd down call. Esiason, Nash gets the handoff. Nash gets 2 or 3 before he's rocked out. They're getting it to the middle of the field, and looks like they're trying to line it up for Atkinson. Lynn Madsen made the tackle for Washington.
Well, the key is when you get the ball down here at this time of the game, is that you've got 4 downs to make the 10. Now, they used 2 running plays and made 2 yards, so on that same theory, they're not going to go much further.
Is he going to go to the air on 3rd down? Right now?
I think he's going to play it safe.
Okay. Play it safe, try to line it up for the field goal. We'll see as Esiason does to Daddio, and Daddio gets to the 15, and that's what they want. They want the field goal from Jess Atkinson, who has been good 16 out of 22 times this year. He will line up for a 3-pointer. If he makes it, it will give Maryland a 9-point lead with 4:15 and counting. Atkinson will be attempting here a 33-yard field goal.
87 points on the season. He's been in this position before.
Esiason to hold. Hood is in the air. It's long enough. It is no good. It is wide. Atkinson does not get the field goal, and the Washington Huskies are back in business.
It was close, but close doesn't count.
It really was close. Certainly had enough toe. He had it long enough, but it is wide and wide to the left. Just barely wide to the left, and now Washington has it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They have 3:49 to try to go 80 yards. Cowan looking upfield. Lost a pass. Got his man, tight end Roseboro. Anthony Allen, excuse me.
Beautiful pattern, beautiful poise by the quarterback. Anthony Allen went 15 to 17 yards upfield and out on the out pattern.
1st and 10, let's go to Les Kiter.
The hurry-up offense by the Huskies now. The missed field goal attempt makes it a new ball game, 3:44 to go, and here come the Huskies.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line for Washington. Allen and Williams are the wideouts. Again, Scansey not in the lineup for the Huskies. Cowan back to throw, being pressured, gets it away. Allen incomplete. Anthony Allen high in the air was incomplete. Bill McFadden, the safety, defending on the play for Maryland.
Allen had a shot at the ball. It would have been a big catch, a great play, but he did touch it.
Second down and 10 call. Gil Hoffman comes in defensively as an extra back for Maryland. Sophomore from Washington, D.C. Cowan looks upfield, has some time, gets the sideline pattern away to Lutu, and Lutu over the 40 to about the 42 or 3-yard line. It's short of the first down. He was stopped by Mike Muller along with Mike Corvino.
Cowan is looking upfield. He's looking to make the first down on the play, but the receivers recovered, so he came to the short man.
Ray Caddage, the fine defensive tackle for Washington, his afternoon finished as you saw his leg propped up, icing down his ankle. It is 3rd down and about 4. Cowan, 311 yards this afternoon in passing. Gets a pass away off the fingertips of Lutu, who was open at the 43-yard line of Maryland.
I'm sure he'd trade all the other completions for that one. Lutu's wide open. Sometimes the word wide open is overused, but in this case, Lutu got in behind the linebackers and in front of the secondary. The ball was thrown behind him. So Tim wishes he could throw that one again.
It is a 4th down for Washington. 2:54 left.
Tim's 100% this season, 4 for 4 on 4th down situations. Here's the rollout.
He's going to run for it. He's got the first down. Cowan's got the first down. He's 5 for 5 on 4th down conversions this year. Lutu, a key block.
Hawaiians are very beautiful, emotional people, and I'll guarantee you they're fired up right now.
They're seeing a ball game as Maryland leads Washington by 6. Washington trying for a last-ditch drive. 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line.
The Huskies have spread their offense. The Maryland defenders are going out with the whiteout, so we could see some running here.
Tried a running play. Jacques Robinson picked up about 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. 2:14 and counting. 20 to 14. Maryland, Washington with the ball. Anthony Allen wide right. Williams wide left. Got it to the tight end, Lutu. He is short of the first down. Lutu at about the 43-yard line. Dropped by J.D. Gross.
Credit to Maryland 3 deep. They're protecting the deep pass. They're giving the shorter pass to the crossing ends, to the Husky crossing ends. But credit the Huskies for taking the ball. They're taking what they're given.
3rd down and about a yard to go for the first down. Let's see if they go for the first. No, they'll go for a quick out. They're going out of the grasp of Aaron Williams. So it is a 4th down and 1 with 1:23 left to play. And again, Cowan facing a 4th down situation.
The defense was dug in for the run. Credit the Huskies for going for it here. But you must squeeze the football.
Aaron Williams, 81 career receptions at Washington, 5th on the all-time list. But bear in mind that on this drive, their great wide receiver, Paul Scansey, has been out.
Double tight. He wants to run the ball. He's going to make it.
He does make it. Oh, what a good effort by Cowan. What a good effort by Tim Cowan. The senior quarterback from Cerritos, California, showing great poise. He still has a minute 16. He has the ball on the Maryland 40-yard line. Down to the wire, Joe. 6 for 6 for Cowan on fourth down conversions. Tim Cowan brings him out. Cowan has a lot of time. All kinds of time. He hits Lutu. Lutu to the 29-yard line.
Leroy Lutu.
First down.
Leroy Lutu right here at home. Clutch catches.
Leroy Lutu from Honolulu, Hawaii. Joe Wilkins made the hit. Lutu's caught 7 passes for 56 yards. So Washington with the ball at the Maryland 29-yard line. They started on their own 20. 58 seconds left. A career high for Cowan in this game. He's passed for 322 yards, but he's still behind by 6.
It's always nice when you play your best game, your last game.
Let's go down to the field. Les Kiter.
Harry, it's going to be a barn burner at the end. The battle of poise between Cowan and Esiason. Incredible to behold. We're down to the final minute. The Huskies threatening, and in the famous words of a sportscaster, don't go away.
Jess Atkinson, the missed field goal out the other end for Maryland. He certainly had enough toe. It just went barely wide, did it not? From your vantage point? The missed field goal by Jess Atkinson. He had plenty of toe. Did it just go barely wide? It looked awfully close from up here. How about your vantage point? That close. Well, Don James is glad you don't have a whistle.
Well, it's set up a great drama here.
Ball at the 29-yard line. First down for Washington. They have it at the Maryland 29. Anthony Allen. Aaron Williams go wide to the right. Tim Cowan, the senior quarterback, trying to win his last one. He's under pressure, gets it away and out of bounds. Incomplete. It won't be grounding. He had a receiver there, Lutu, on the far sideline, but he was under heavy pressure by Tyrone Furman along with Curtis Brown. Second down and 10. 53 seconds left to play in the inaugural Aloha Bowl game. Joe Cap, we couldn't have asked for a better one.
Well, we thought it was going to be close, and here we are.
It is that. Washington trying to pull it out in the final 53 seconds. Cowan brings him out. Paul Cody, the senior.
Got an unbalanced line to the right.
Rolls to the right. Being rushed, gets a wobbly pass away, nearly picked off. It was intended for Aaron Williams. He was really under heavy pressure again by Tyrone Furman, the junior, who's had a fine game defensively for Maryland. Third and 10. Still ample time, but 2 downs remaining for it. Tim Cowan looks it over. He's got a 3rd down and 10 call.
He's got a slot to the short side of the field.
There's the time left, courtesy of Timex. Back to pass Cowan. Has time. Got a lot of time. He drills it in. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Short of a first down goes Aaron Williams.
Give credit to the Maryland secondary. They're really protecting the deep pass, and that's their job. That's what they have to do.
All right, Coach. 4th down. The game on the line. You have 4 yards to go. The outstanding offensive player has been announced. Maryland's quarterback, Boomer Esiason. Defensive outstanding player, Tony Caldwell, the linebacker from Washington.
What do you do if
4th and 4.
Tim Cowan makes a game-winning touchdown pass here?
He has converted 6 for 6 on 4th down. This is the biggest in his career. Got time. First down. First down, I think, or did he drop the ball? Anthony Allen was there, made the catch. Washington first down.
Great poise by Tim Cowan.
7 for 7 on fourth down conversions.
I hate when they pick the most valuable players before the game's over.
Flag down on the play. He hit Aaron Williams, and what a hit by Lendell Jones. But there's a marker down on the play, and there are 28 seconds left. That's miraculous that Tim Cowan, in 7 attempts at fourth down conversions, has made all 7, including that 4-yarder on a fine catch by Anthony Allen.
3 in this game.
What were you saying about MVP?
3 on this drive.
What were you saying earlier about MVP? You hate to see him pick him before the game's over, right?
I hate to see it.
28 seconds remaining to be played. See what the penalty was all about. Penalty evidently is against Maryland.
I would think we'd see a corner pattern or some type of in the end zone pass here with 28 seconds.
What a game. The East versus the West. It's all that we thought it would be here at the Aloha Bowl. 2 top 20 teams, and they're taking it right down to the final seconds. We have 28 ticks on the clock left. Penalty against Maryland takes it to the 13-yard line. For his first down, and 5 for a first down. More importantly, 13.
Maryland,
a touchdown.
Maryland are playing 4 deep secondaries, all of them standing on the goal line. They're prepared to give up a short pass. They're prepared to take away the touchdown in the end zone.
Cowan back to pass. Has time. Now he's under the grass, but he gets it away to James, the fullback, and he's dropped at the 11-yard line by Mike Muller. Got it away to Chris James, and a timeout is called. Timeout called with 12 seconds left, and the ball's on the Maryland 11-yard line as Cowan comes to the sideline.
The Maryland strategy is outstanding there. Take away the deep one, force the short pass. Washington took it, but not enough.
It's a second down and 3, but that's not important. It's 11 yards from the end zone with 12 seconds left to play. Maryland leading by 6. Washington with the ball on the Maryland 11-yard line. To the wire at Aloha Stadium, Honolulu, Hawaii. The inaugural Aloha Bowl, a bowl that's going to be around and thrive for a lot of years. The teams have loved their stay here. The fans have seen an outstanding football game, and this is destined to become one of the top bowl classics in the country.
Tim Cowan setting a University of Washington Husky record, 33 completions. A lot of great quarterbacks at the Huskies. Bob Slurett, Sonny Sixkiller, Don Heinrich, Moon.
Second down, 12 seconds left to play. Cowan back to pass, looking, fires to the end zone. Anthony Allen, the Washington Husky touchdown from Tim Cowan. Unbelievable. With 6 seconds showing on the clock, Cowan drills an 11-yard pass, and I mean he drilled it.
It's an out pattern. Play pass, fake to the fullback, tailback. Allen was able to maneuver inside and take the out cut. Right on the money, right on the sideline.
Perfectly thrown to Anthony Allen, who has scored all 3 Washington touchdowns. Now the conversion attempt by the All-American Chuck Nelson. With it tied at 20-20, he hadn't missed an extra point since 1980.
Don't go home yet. There's 6 seconds left to play.
6 seconds remaining. Steve Pallure to hold. Nelson, this is just so automatic, you would think. This game is tied at 20, and it all boils down to the All-American's toe. Chuck Nelson from Everett, Washington. Low snap, but he got it down to the top, and it is good. Washington a 1-point lead with 6 seconds left, 21-20. Credit Steve Pallure with a great job. That was a low snap, and he got it on the tee in excellent shape.
great scoring drive, Harry. 80 yards, 16 plays, 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Every play was a clutch play. The scoring play, Cowan Allen, Nelson kicked to go ahead.
Allen has scored all 3 Washington touchdowns on passes from Tim Cowan. And Maryland will have 6 seconds to try to pull off a miracle.
Well,
and Nelson did not miss that one that put Washington in front by a point with just 6 seconds left to go.
Allen, 7 receptions, 136 yards, 3 touchdowns. Who's the most valuable player?
Well, Anthony Allen certainly has made himself felt, as has the quarterback Tim Cowan, a career high in passing for him.
I see Maryland is lining up in a regular punt return, probably expecting the Huskies to kick upfield.
Just been announced that they have changed the most valuable player, Joe. You'll be happy to hear. Tim Cowan, the senior quarterback from Washington, is now the MVP of this inaugural Aloha Bowl.
Thank you very much. But listen now. There could be a run back here. The Golden Bears now.
All right, that's right. What's your formation here?
Well,
we're
a little deep here.
They're a little too deep. Plus, they have too many men on the field. They got 11 guys out there.
Right.
You only use 9.
We'd loan them Kevin Moan here if we could.
Nelson, a low boot.
There's the spread. Let's see the lateral.
Here's Wander.
He's got it. Outside cut.
Trying to get outside. Spins away, but he's corralled. And this first Aloha Bowl from Honolulu, Hawaii is history. What an outstanding football game we have seen here at Honolulu's Hawaii at Aloha Stadium. That's the end of the game with the score. Washington pulling it off in the closing seconds. Washington 21, Maryland 20. We'll be back with our final comments after this.